Nahous. I'm a political science student at the University of the West Indies. I've been a social political activist for about 4 years now. I'm an advocate as well. I'm the youth chairman of the Jericho Project, a charity organization here at Tobago, as well as youth officer for the California Foundation for Young Professionals. Now, I was very glad to be invited here to say a few short words. Corruption is something that we've been focusing on for a long time in California and Jericho Project. We've been looking at this because we see that the corruption really decays the society. Now, this question always comes up: what is corruption? Where corruption comes from? All these questions come up. Now, the problem is, I think we have a bad attitude in Trinidad towards it. Because, we know about corruption now. Everyday newspapers is corruption. You have a funny headline, a comic, a picture. We look at it, we laugh, but we Trinidadians, we must joke, and to everything, everything is a joke, right? That's how it goes in the country. Awareness of corruption has come a long way in the last few years. And I think that most nations knows about the corruption now. Before you could sweep it on the rug and make excuse, especially with the internet and increased awareness in social media, they can't hide again. So the nation has come, there's this massive groundswell of people coming. Yes, we know about corruption, X, Y, and Z, we bring it to them, we show them facts, step up the line and show it to them, and they watch us back in our face. Well, what are they going to do? We in power, what are they going to do? For years, for generations, we keep on voting for change. We think we get exchange, but really we get short change. We get worse and worse, that is what we get. We've reached a height now where we are spending, what, 60 billion a year? Last budget was, I think, 56, 55, but they keep on asking to increase it across the $60 billion. We have in Trinidad what is known as the curse of oil wealth. Someone was telling me the other day, look at Barbados, how they know they have to work hard and this and that, and how we can't be like them. I said, well, if Barbados had oil like us, they wouldn't be working so hard. We have a lazy mentality here because we have the curse of oil wealth. We have, I believe it's 55% of our revenue comes from the energy sector overall. That is sad. We should be trying to push all of the industries to overthrow that. We should be aiming to reduce the energy sector's percentage, not reduce the amount we produce in it, but reduce the percentage of share in the island. When all that money comes into the public purse and we start to share it out, well, we ain't taking that on because we still eating good. We still going to be fed on the weekend, so we really had to take that on. The problem here too with corruption is that Trinidadians might know about corruption, but we fail to realize something. Every time they want to spend the money, we think it's their money they're spending. We don't realize it's tax dollars. We're not thinking about that. Right now I run a blog called TrinityReviews.com. It has about 6,000 readers every month on it. And a lot of what I highlight is that I stopped calling it tax dollars and start saying our money. Because it's our money. That's 15% people say they don't pay tax. Well, I pay land tax and so on, I pay tax. I say that KFC went and buy, you pay 15% back on it. You pay tax, you're a taxpayer. That's where that money going. We have to look at ways forward now. Now that we highlight the issues and we stand up in the face with it, they tell us, so what are you going to do? I believe it was Charles Dickens that said the law is an ass. Well, we say it now, we stand up and say, what? Well, we have the law in our pocket, you going to take us to court for it, what you going to do? The Integrity Commission now, they say remove integrity and just call themselves the commission. That's the point it has reached now. But people don't even take it on again. After certain issues that come up and how long they take and the process in it, it's important for our country to have it functioning properly, but again, everything in Trinidad is a joke, is a bacchanal, is a comic, is a this. That's why the Calypsonians come every year and sing about it. As I say here, things that cry for people laughing. Every year, the voice of the nation, the Calypsonians come in about this Critalin a few years ago, said, this one they call the Calypso too bright, saying you want to let a Duncy Prime Minister because they're too bright. When they get there, they're too bright, they know how to move on the system, which is very true. Until we can look to move forward and have things in place. For example, in the US, I believe a few months ago, a couple of mayors got arrested. They took a few $1,000s in US bribes. That's joke money in Trinidad. A few thousand. If we hear a politician take a 10,000 TT, we'll laugh at that. Billions going in one project, we'll punch and take $12,000. They want to arrest him. What they want to arrest him for? That's the bad mentality we have. In the more developed countries, there's no big corruption and small corruption. There's corruption. You did something wrong, it is corruption. At any level, you'll get arrested for it. Here again, we joke about it, we put it in the papers. We naming and shaming people who have big name but no shame. So that is the problem that's going on here. We have to look at ways forward. One way that I suggested forward recently, they say that politics is corrupt, or is always corruption, and I said, well, it's because there's corrupt people in politics. I'll always say that. The system is not inherently corrupt. It's that there's so many corrupt people, and yes, they are drawn out the honest people, people with integrity. I said, well, there's one guy I asked, someone asked me that. I said, are you corrupt? Do you consider yourself corrupt? He said, no, I am an honest person, I'm working hard, this and that. I said, get involved. If you want to wash out corruption, you have to do that. You have to wash it out. Everyone with morality and integrity needs to step up until there's so many people in the political system that it floods out those who corrupt, and that those who corrupt have nowhere to run to and no safe haven in this country. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. At this point,